Hello everyone, this is not a Santa Claus, this is Agata,
And this is Raúl.
and this is Sci-why.
Christmas special.
So this will be like Christmas themed episode for this holiday season. And maybe not everyone is celebrating Christmas.
Yeah, we don't know if you celebrate maybe Kwanzaa or Hanukkah.
Well, we celebrate Christmas because of the tradition, but we're not really...
Not because we are Catholics at all.
Yeah, so let's say that, let's keep it all entertaining and fun and not really religious. Maybe.
No, it's not religious at all. Actually, I have some friends that celebrate Yule, others celebrate Saturnalia. So basically, call it whatever you like, as long as, you treat people right and you have hella food and make gifts to each other.
Just enjoy the end of the year holiday, whatever it's called.
End of the year or beginning of winter, actually. Well, if you want to celebrate the beginning of the winter, be my guest. I hope that wherever you are, it's actual winter. Not like here that is like kind of winter, but we had few days of snow and then the snow has disappeared, so...
No, it's 7 degrees.
But it's still kind of cold. Sometimes blows this super cold wind. Anyway, so in this episode we are going to talk about some kind of classic topics of Christmas, okay? And we are going basically to debunk them, alright? Or give some scientific explanation on them. Because the name of this episode is Why Your Christmas Lights Are Always Tangled. You get excited, open the box of Christmas decorations that you've been holding in your basement for the rest of the year, and the Christmas lights are always a mess. And then you need to spend the next 40 minutes trying to untangle them and you get pissed, wish you had more scissors to cut through the knots, but that will ruin them, so you try to be patient and untangle them.
Which I did all by myself because I'm the Christmas tree specialist in this household.
Yeah.
And it took me less than 40 minutes, thank you very much. But they were tangled.
They were tangled anyway. However, this is very interesting. How long is our cord of Christmas lights?
I think we have two, and one is like 2.5 meters and 2.5 meters that they're like kind of like a loop.
Were they tangled together?
Yeah. I mean, okay. They're like, there's like a loop of that, and then they're like tangled in between each other.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Because there is a branch of mathematics, your favorite science, of course. Yeah. Called knots theory, which is exactly what it suggests.
Wow.
Okay? It's a branch of maths that study the formation of knots, which is very important for biology, engineering, and
for
computation.
For people who have headphones with cable.
Exactly. So, the reason why your Christmas lights are always tangled is the same reason why your headphones are always tangled. Which, by the way, brings me to another thing that I hate very much. This podcast, I know that it's supposed to be about comedy, but I'm going to use it also to vent about things that I hate. For example, the AirPods of Apple, right? That they sell them with a cord so you don't lose them, making the wireless headphones wire-full. So, like, what is the point even? They came back. Anyway, so I cannot really understand.
Well, there is a fashion, allegedly, among celebrities to wear headphones with cable because aesthetics and it's more fashionable. It looks better with your outfit if you have like proper headphones with a proper cable, so then you can like chew the cable while the paparazzi are taking photos of you. It's
Why
like
would you chew
kind of 90s
Why would you chew the cable? That is exactly what you are not supposed to.
Aesthetics, okay?
I'm all about aesthetics, but come on.
Okay, let's back to the topic because Christmas and holiday cheer.
Knot theory, okay? So in knot theory,
not so cheer.
There is the study of the formation of knots, okay, in strings. Now, it has been mathematically proven that any cord longer than 2 meters will 100% get knots. Okay? There is no way to escape it.
But headphones are shorter.
Exactly. So, how do you explain that? Well, everything depends on
the elf in your pocket.
It's not the elf in your pocket. It's about how you preserve them. Now, The thing is that there has been a study.
There is this part of physics where they talk about the protection of the cables, and then they calculate how you should preserve the cable to avoid the tangulation. Thank you very much.
I don't sound like that.
They sound like that.
Totally not. So basically, how many knots will a cord get depends on how do you store it, for how long, and how you have rolled it to preserve it. Alright? So, based on this, a study was done basically putting a cord inside a box. And the box was shaken, okay, for different periods of times. And the cord would come out of the box with different knots, but always there was a knot. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, your Christmas lights get knotted because any cord that is under the influence of certain forces being stored in a box and being the box taken in and out all the time, moving it and so on, that is making the cord to move also getting tangled. Mm-hmm. So it's not that you are stupid.
So
and
how
you
is
don't
it
know.
maths and not physics? Or is it
okay.
some in-between topic?
Well, you know that maths is basically a language. Okay? Mm-hmm. Maths is the language...
The language that I don't speak.
The language that we use in science to talk about things. Mm-hmm. But this is a topic that enters in the field of physics.
I'm so smart.
Now, it is true that a science is more scientific the more physics has involved in it. Okay? So I would say that physics is like the umbrella for all sciences, and maths is the language that we use to talk about science. Anyway, it's not that you are stupid and you don't know how to store your cords so they will
unless
always
you just
get tangled.
Tangle them and then throw them in the box and don't put
the
any
point
effort.
here is that every cord will always get tangled. There is no escape from it, okay? You have to just admit it, okay? And carry on with your life and do not get pissed because this is something that just happens, okay? Getting pissed that your cord is tangled is like getting pissed that it rains. Okay, it just happens. You cannot control it, so you have to accept it. Okay. Now, this is interesting because I was checking when did all this Christmas lights thing started. Back in the day, like long time ago, before before the 1880, the year 1880, people would decorate their Christmas trees with actual candles.
Yeah,
with candles. Wax candles with actual fire, which started a lot of fires and loss of property and plenty of accidents. So Christmas was considered a very, very dangerous season because there was a lot of fires. And it's like...
Well, my grandma and even my mom, when my mom was still like a teenager, I would even say, they had that kind of like a holder for the candle, and it had like a clip that you would clip it to the branch of Christmas tree, and then you would put the candle inside of it and then light it up, and
and that is super dangerous. So
but how beautiful.
Plenty of times in history it has been tried to ban Christmas and they called it banning Christmas as a way to oppose it. Because what they wanted to do, like government officials...
Poor Christians, always being tormented.
They wanted to just keep people safe from not burning down their houses because they would put candles in an actual living tree that is made of wood. It will burn very easily. So, to solve this matter, it was invented, the Christmas lights as we know them today, the electrical cord. It was invented by the Thomas Edison Electrical Company. You could buy, here you have, I show you an ad of electric lighting outfit for Christmas tree.
And house decoration.
And for the cheap price of only $12, you can get a 28 candle cord, fully electrical, saving, therefore, plenty of lives from just burning, people would get burned alive. Because they would put candles. How about you just don't put candles?
It's not the same.
That easy, So
the light symbolizes hope and stuff.
So the Christmas lights were invented in the 1880 to basically keep people from getting burned, okay?
And to earn a lot of money.
Oh yeah, no, of course, he made a lot of money, but in the same way that, I don't know, Henry Ford made a lot of money by making cars. Now, we are going to jump to the field of the legends, okay? Of the part of, the things of Christmas that we all know, all right? So, and we are going to check whether they are true or not. And in this case, I always put the sources, but in this case, the source is myself because I have done the calculations.
It was revealed in a dream.
It was revealed to me in a dream, and I have done the calculations about this. So from this on, this is my own research, okay?
Mathematician.
So we are going to check one of the biggest legends of Christmas, which is
You mean the biggest lie?
Which is the list of naughty or nice from Santa, okay?
Yes.
So Santa's list would actually be really, really, really long.
Really?
Because based on the latest data, in the world, there is 2.2 billion children.
Okay. Until which age you are considered a child?
I consider them 18.
Okay.
Because,
Law.
Yeah. Except in the US. When in the US, you are a child until 21. Which to me makes no sense, because in the US, you can
But you can drive when you're 16?
Yeah, in the US, you can drive when you're 16, go to war and kill people when you're 18, but you cannot have a beer because you are not 21. So, in the crazy country where law makes no sense and up is down and yes is no, who knows? But for the rest of us, I consider that you are a child until you are 18. Okay? So, there are, based on that, 2.2 billion children in the world. Okay?
Which is quite a lot.
It is plenty of them. However, Santa does not deliver to Muslims, Hindu, Jewish, and Buddhists, right? So that narrows the field pretty much, and leaving us with about 330 million children. Okay? Now, based on this, his list would be 9 million pages long. Okay? And considering...
Santa is magic, so for him it's like 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, but still, the list is pretty long, okay? So, considering that he's using regular pieces of paper like A4 paper, based on the thickness of the paper, the list, if you put all the papers in a pile, like one on top of the other, the list would be 900 meters thick, which is 10 times more the length of a football field. Football field is 90 meters, okay? And this would be 900.
I think I know where the problem here is. It's just when the Santa first started working, there was only, like 10 kids in the world.
Well, 10, exactly 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the list was like, 1 page long. But then fucking medicine comes in and the soap, and suddenly kids start to survive through age of 2, and suddenly we have parents actually caring about their children, and then fast forward, we are in the 21st century, and then suddenly you have 10 football fields of paper that you have to look through, which I do believe that Santa is not a stupid person, okay? I mean, he has to have something. So what I would expect is that he has a really giant Excel sheet with all the names, probably in some categories or in different sheets.
Yes. VLOOKUP.
Yeah, and then he just it automatically fills in, maybe I don't know, the elves are putting all the info about the children. So
you have to
make
graduate computer science to work at Santa's.
Times change. Back in the day, probably you had to just come to Santa and be like, hey Santa, I'm elf, I want a job. And now
you're hired, see you on Monday,
And now you have to actually bring the CV.
For sure, they have an intern to do all this shit.
So yeah, so the intern is putting, this one is naughty, this one is nice, naughty, nice, naughty, nice, 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 nice. And then Santa is just filtering all the nice ones and separate them for different continents, stuff like that. So
that sounds super boring. Turning the classic,
I would enjoy that.
Classic adult stuff. Turning the magic of Christmas into the cold corporation with Excel sheets and
Why does it have to be cold?
Well, anyway.
I enjoy my job and I do Excel stuff.
Well, sure.
It's my dream to work for Santa.
How can Santa do all this? thanks to the different time zones in the Earth and the rotation of the planet, Santa would not have one night to do the whole delivery. Actually, he will have 48 hours.
Which is plenty of time.
Which is
to go
plenty of time to go everywhere.
How many million?
Still,
of children?
he will have to 330.
Yeah, I mean, 48
but
hours.
Still, he would need to visit almost 2 million houses per hour. Okay? 2 million houses per hour. That is huge. Consider that in Warsaw, the whole population of Warsaw is 1.7 million. Okay? So he will have to visit 2 million houses per hour. How can he do that? Well, obviously, traveling very fast. You know? He will have to travel as fast as 4 million kilometers per hour. A space rocket travels 29,000 kilometers per hour. And he will have to travel 4 million kilometers per hour. How can he do this?
The question is, does a space rocket have a reindeer with a sparkly bright nose at the
We will get to that too. But how would he do it? He would need an antimatter reactor in his sleigh, which is a science that is still under research, because when you combine matter with antimatter, there is a huge explosion of energy that would allow you to travel really, really fast. And that is what they expect the future space rockets will be working with.
Just with big explosions.
Yeah, indeed. Now, Santa would come to your house and then you have to leave something. Like when the plumber comes to your house and you're like, do you want a coffee?
Yeah.
You know? So you have to leave cookies and milk, no? So,
which I never did, and I always get the gifts.
Exactly. This is only a USA thing. So I consider that only the USA is doing that.
Okay.
In the USA, there is 130 million households. He had to visit all of them. And if we consider that he would eat one cookie, only one biscuit, in every household, after one night...
How many calories?
After one night, he would be eating 46 billion calories.
Cool. Okay. Which gives you the energy for the antimatter matter. So it's like a magic fuel.
To me, that seems pretty bulimic. But
and what if those cookies, they have like chocolate chips?
What I did was to put in Google calories of one cookie. And then I saw the table of the Oxford University on the nutritional values, and it says, biscuits, this many calories. So, and then I did the calculation, 46 billion calories in one night. Okay?
And then they complain that, oh, Santa is fat. He barely can fit into my fake chimney.
Well, no, sorry, but that is life. Probably Santa is very squishy to, be able to go down.
Every year with my family, my parents would be like, oh, children, go upstairs to the window and look if you can see the first star, because that's when you start the dinner for Christmas.
The first star, meaning that the sky is dark. So
yeah. And then we would be there like looking, where is the first star? And then you could hear that the door would open, and then a moment later it would close, and then we were like, oh, Santa! And then we would run down, and the gifts were already there, and Santa was gone. And every time it was super upsetting, because it's like, we missed him again for another year. He came, he left, like, how fast is he? He won't even stay to say hello or anything. I mean, it was very upsetting.
Proving that kids are idiots. I mean, they will believe whatever you tell them. Like, oh, you missed it. And they're like, damn. They are not like, again? Suspicious.
Well, at some point, you find it very suspicious. But then you have a younger sibling and you say the same thing to them. So course, I don't know if it's very ethical.
I mean, what is more likely, tell me, that Santa actually exists and a fella would come and deliver you the presents who you have seen in the mall? I mean, you went to the mall and told Santa what you wanted, remember?
Never did that because Poland we didn't have that.
That is because of communist Poland.
Poland.
So, is either that, okay, which you have seen Santa with your own two eyes, or every adult in the planet is part of a huge conspiracy to lie to kids to do stuff. What is more likely? That everyone in the planet agreed on this? Come on.
With my adult mind, I can say that it is possible that Santa does exist. It's just that with the growing number of children
Mm-hmm.
because the mortality has fallen.
Okay.
He just cannot do it. He's an old man, and like as we see, it would be super difficult. Therefore, he just asked all the parents to help him, to be Santa's little helper, and to provide the gifts for the kids instead of him.
No, okay, no.
So not conspiracies, cooperation.
When we have our kid, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to move one single finger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do anything.
Uh-huh.
If I don't receive a letter from Santa,
Uh-huh.
maybe an email saying, hey, you have been designed local Santa.
Uh-huh.
Okay, like Google with the local guides.
Yeah.
And then we will see.
For the household of blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will see. And talking about the matter.
If not, then no gift for the kids.
Sorry, that's life. Now let's talk about Santa's reindeers,
Mm-hmm.
okay, which are also like huge part of this operation.
Of course, they literally transport him,
To begin with, they are all female, okay?
which we learned in Christmas Chronicles.
I'm not sure, I don't remember, but the point here is that only the male reindeers shed the antlers, while the females, they keep the antlers through the winter. So if you see a reindeer that has no antlers in winter, it's a male. But if it does have antlers, it's a female, okay?
This is so weird
Why?
because you would assume that they keep their antlers so that they are like
Based on what?
strong.
Based on your patriarchal
Yeah,
cisgender
because alpha
conception.
males and stuff.
No. And then you would be even more shocked when I tell you that the male seahorse
Mm-hmm.
gets pregnant, not the female. And they are actually pregnant, no? With like belly and everything.
A girl can dream.
Mhm. Anyway, all the Santa's reindeers are female, which to me, well, the one that is called Vixen, that
Kind of makes sense.
but
yeah.
the one that is called Rudolph, I mean, I understand, gender fluid and all,
Rudolphina or
but
something.
I mean, come on, and also like, who named them? They are all like Vixen,
Cometa.
Trixen, Panther, Cancer, Prancer, like they are named by Tolkien or what? Like Dori, Nori, Bifur, Bafur, Bambur. To me, I understand that they have to rhyme, but come on, to begin, they are getting all wrong. So
But
anyway, Rudolph doesn't rhyme with anything. But how could his nose glow? Well, to that you have an explanation.
Ooh, can I guess?
Sure.
For sure, it's radioactive.
Okay. It's like
Because he was
the
like
Rudolph of Chernobyl.
he or she
The
or
Eastern
whatever
Bloc
the
Rudolph.
gender fluid reindeer was
Mhm.
like up there in the North Pole, just like sniffing around, trying
Mhm.
to get some food because it's snow everywhere.
Uh-huh.
And it's like sniffing, and then turned out that there was like the Russians left some radioactive waste, and
Okay.
they put the nose in,
Mhm.
and then it just it glows.
Radioactive.
No need
radioactive.
for electricity in the stables anymore.
Well, not really. Okay. I appreciate
Let's
your
see.
effort.
I'm trying.
I will give you points for the effort.
Yay!
But it's not the
We
case.
are all winners.
The thing is that there are certain moss. You know what is a moss?
Yeah, that kind of green thing
This
in the
green
forest.
thing, that grows, looks like a carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So there is a green moss
Mm-hmm.
that glows in the dark
Mm-hmm.
through a process called bioluminescence. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bioluminescence, it's something that regular organisms have. Like, it's nothing really special.
Underwater
it's seen in nature.
jellyfish.
Yeah, jellyfish have it, and other fish.
Underwater jellyfish. Is there any
Wow,
other
because there
jellyfish?
is upper water
Well,
jellyfish.
there's the upper water jellyfish that's
Yeah,
on your
which is
plate.
just a plastic bag. So, so jellyfish have it, and other fish that live in deep waters, they also have bioluminescence. And
Because it's very dark deep in the ocean.
what is likely is that Rudolph would have eaten moss that is
Mhm.
bioluminescent, or rubbed its nose against it,
Mhm.
making the moss stick to its nose.
But
Okay,
wouldn't then his nose be
And-
green?
it would be green. Exactly, that's a very good point. It would glow green, not glow red. Now, why does it glow red? It's actually because reindeers have 25% more blood vessels in their nose than any other animal of the same family. Okay? So then his nose would glow red because of so many blood vessels. Okay? In the same way that your hand glows red when you put a flashlight behind it. Okay? Or your ears, if you put the flash of your phone behind your ears, you will see that your ears glow red because of so many blood vessels inside. Okay? That would be the explanation why, the nose glows in red.
I'm not exactly convinced. I must say I like my theory better. I think it's more reasonable.
Okay. Well, to me, both are a big stretch. Okay? But what is a really, really big stretch is that they fly. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, maybe this radioactive thing, but I don't have other explanation. Or that they can run like really fast, and they run so fast that they can just they don't really fly, but they just, kind of...
Reindeers can't fly. Okay? Reindeers do not fly.
Really?
Yeah. But they float. Okay? They have very, very high buoyancy because their fur traps air underneath. So when they are in the water, they float without the need of swimming, like a dog would swim. Reindeers, they don't need to do that because their fur traps the air like a puffy jacket, and then they just can just float in water. And I have seen the videos, and it's pretty cool and quite funny. At least they have that, okay? Because for example, I cannot float in the water; I have to actually swim. And to finish with this, I would like to say that Santa is always portrayed as crossing the moon, okay? But actually, the first humans to orbit the moon were the astronauts from the Apollo 8 mission, that they orbited the moon on Christmas Eve on 1968, 53 years ago. And what did they do? They played on the radio Jingle Bells. So, and this has been all for this week.
Cool. And now we can all go to get ready for Christmas. Our Christmas tree is dressed with the lights.
Yes.
Untangled. I mean, they will be tangled when I have to take them off.
Happily.
Yay. And we have other Christmas decorations, and all our neighbors have their Christmas lights punching us with their stroboscopic
they are very, very epileptic.
So
I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but oh well.
Ooh, and if everything goes well, maybe we'll have some snow in a few days.
Yeah, so we will have actually a snowy Christmas. That would be nice.
And that also leads me to the point where we say that next week there will be no episode. Yeah,
next week we are taking a break because of Christmas holidays, but we will be back on 3rd of January with the New Year's. New Year's, all Sci-why.
Yes, New Year, new me, but the same
podcast. So yeah, notice that we have been uploading one episode every week for the last 14 weeks.
Oh, no, 1 week we didn't.
Okay, 1 week
because
we didn't.
We were sick.
Because we were sick. But apart from that...
We're doing quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having fun with doing this, and I hope you are having fun also. If you want to have even more fun, you can follow us on Instagram
at sci.why
.podcast. And we will see you all again on 3rd of January.
Yes. Have a good holiday season. Enjoy. I hope you will get some rest. And hopefully Santa will come to visit you.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're on the list of nice kids.
I dzięki pa.
Dzięki pa.